Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Jarell Quansah shows Arne Slot what he's missing after Liverpool exit. Thomas Tuchel has hailed Jarell Quansah following his England debut, insisting the former Liverpool defender already looks like an experienced international star, more than a year on from his first call-up for the Three Lions. Quansah was finally handed his debut for his country on Sunday as he started the 2-0 win over Albania, with England completing a perfect qualifying run ahead of next year's World Cup. The 22-year-old filled in at right-back and clearly made a good impression on Tuchel, which may well boost the former Liverpool star's hopes of securing a spot in his nation's squad for next year's tournament in the United States, Canada and Mexico. We had some difficult moments. To overcome an atmosphere like this, brilliant. Everyone is happy and they deserve it, Tuchel said after the game. On Quansah, the England boss added, "I have to say I am very impressed by our debutant, Jarell Quansah. His first cap, he played like he had 50 already. The young guys are good." It's not just Tuchel who was impressed by Quansah's first senior appearance for England. With the Liverpool Academy graduate also gaining plaudits from the national media, The Guardian gave him a 7/10 rating for his performance. Summarizing, debutant tested by Albania's biggest threat in Hoxha, played more centrally to begin with but moved wider after Saka came on. And the Standard concurred as it also awarded Quansah a 7, saying, "The Bayer Leverkusen man was effective on debut, slotting in well at right-back and even proving an attacking outlet." Quansah's debut comes as a reward following what was a surprise exit from Liverpool during the summer, with the defender having made his breakthrough at Anfield just a year earlier. Since making the move to Germany, though, he has managed to nail down a regular starting spot at Leverkusen, with the Bundesliga side turning their season around after Erik ten Hag's disastrous start resulted in the former Manchester United boss being fired after just 2 games. "I have been learning from some of the best players around me at the time at Liverpool," Quansah said after leaving Anfield. "Being able to do that has been so good for my career. It has always been a big part of it. At this part of my career, 20 to turning 23, in January I need hundreds of games to be where I want to be. I think overall that's why the decision was made and why I thought going abroad was best for me." Quansah's decision looks to be paying off, with international recognition underlining the potential many saw in him at Liverpool, given the Reds' defensive issues this season, and the lack of options following Giovanni Leone's ACL injury. He certainly could have been a useful option for Arne Slot to have at his disposal right now, not that Quansah will mind too much at the moment as he looks to further his cause for a spot in Tuchel's World Cup squad. The reality behind Liverpool's identity struggles this season. It doesn't take a genius to see that Liverpool are struggling right now. But where is it going wrong? After 11 Premier League games, a mere 18 points have been notched up after the Reds initially won their opening 5 matches. In 4 of those opening 5 wins, the Reds were seen to have relied on scoring late goals, and we scored a few in fairness. The results didn't come off great performances, but points were on the board in difficult fixtures. You felt as though Arne Slot would have the team firing on all cylinders sooner rather than later, although the side has now lost 7 of their last 10 games in all performances, which suggests there is a far deeper array of problems to deal with. The defense has taken a lot of flack for the polarizing run of form, and it's understandable as to why, since 25 goals have been conceded in 17 games, which is troublesome. But there is far more context behind Liverpool's identity problems to consider, and it's not necessarily a reflection on the club. The Premier League has fundamentally changed. FSG sanctioned Richard Hughes and the Reds recruitment team to spend £450 million on transfers in the summer, and world-class players like Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak were signed, alongside Hugo Ekitike, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong and others. Each of them were good signings to have made. Slot explained the rationale behind his transfer strategy during the early part of the season, looking to add weapons to his arsenal, trying to achieve the rare feat of defending the Premier League title. Right now, it's proved difficult to get the jigsaw pieces to fit together. That's not to say that they are incapable of gelling at some point, but we're just not there yet. As mentioned, the defense has been poor and the midfield balance has been misjudged on a few different occasions. It all feels wrong, and that's not to say that the attack has worked well either. The Athletic have claimed in a recent article that Liverpool were an attacking juggernaut last season, scoring 86 goals in the Premier League, which is accurate and a fair assessment of how well the Reds used to be going forward. This season, however, we rank 6th for goals scored on 18, and when you extrapolate the current rate of scoring, you get 62 goals, which is a particularly low amount, a drop off of 24. In spite of the additions of Wirtz, Ekatike and Isak, with Diogo Jota, Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz no longer with a stat, the missing contacts from that stat in particular, however, is that top of the league. Arsenal have 20 goals through 11 games this season, which is just 2 more than the Reds. They are on track to score 69 goals this year, unless the rate of scoring increases. That figure is exactly how many Mikel Arteta's side scored last season. What's changed is just how defensively solid they've become. Whether you win games with a scoreline of 1-0 or 4-3, the points are the same. By all accounts, it's the Gunners' goal difference that will change, rather than Victor Gyökeres and Everechi as helping them to become a more attacking asset. It doesn't really make sense when you think about it, but the way the Premier League has changed this season is essential to understanding it all. More set pieces are being scored, and that's because defenses are more compact than we've seen in recent years. Liverpool aren't able to deal with it, whereas Arsenal are masters of new approach. The way 2 teams are playing in this country is not what we're used to. Claims that the league has regressed are based on a lack of goals being scored in general, which can be viewed as a direct consequence of there being less end-to-end football. Flair players aren't required as much. There simply isn't any space in behind for strikers to run into. None of this was anticipated by Slot. Could or should we have seen this coming? Perhaps, but the players that Liverpool bought aren't a problem. It's just about adapting them to the new Premier League, not necessarily to themselves. The results haven't been good, and they have to improve if we're to still be in with a shout of having a successful season. But it's not straightforward to navigate through this transitional period for the side and the league as a whole. In time, things will come good. It's just a matter of when. Gabriel Magalhaes injury statement as Arsenal blow could hand Liverpool title boost. Arsenal's defender Gabriel is a significant doubt for the upcoming North London derby after scans revealed he has sustained a thigh injury. In what could be a boost to Liverpool and the rest of the chasing pack, Gabriel limped off during Brazil's 2-0 victory at the Emirates on Saturday, appearing visibly distressed post-match. On Sunday, the Brazilian FA issued a statement confirming that he would not be joining the rest of the squad for their friendly against Tunisia in France on Tuesday. The statement read, Arsenal player Gabriel Magalhaes was re-evaluated this Sunday and underwent imaging tests that revealed a muscle injury in his right thigh. Consequently, the player will not travel with the team for the match against Tunisia in Lille. No other player will be called up to replace him. This news confirms Arsenal's worst fears ahead of next Sunday's showdown with Tottenham at the Emirates. Gabriel has been a pivotal figure for Arsenal this season, contributing significantly in both defense and attack, and the Gunners will be concerned about the prospect of a lengthy absence. Brazil's manager Carlo Ancelotti expressed regret over the injury to the 27-year-old, stating, "Bad? I don't know, he had a problem on his adductor. The medical staff have to check tomorrow. We are really sorry for this. Really disappointed. When players have an injury, I hope they can recover well and soon." Riccardo Calafiori has returned to Arsenal from international duty with Italy, though his injury is not believed to be serious. Italy head coach Gennaro Gattuso explained that whilst Calafiori could have potentially featured in their final World Cup qualifier, he was permitted to depart the camp early out of respect for his club. He said, "Calafiori left the training camp. We tried Calafiori, he had a few issues. I thank him for his commitment. He stayed here for a week. He could have played perhaps, but it wouldn't have been fair to him or Arsenal." The Gunners enter the North London derby sitting atop the Premier League table, 4 points clear of Manchester City. However, Mikel Arteta's squad faces a challenging fixture schedule, with matches against Spurs, Bayern Munich and Chelsea all within a 7-day period. Yes, Florian Wirtz is a problem for Liverpool, despite Julian Nagelsmann's deflection attempts. In 2022, off the back of a domestic cup double, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool signed a record-breaking attacker who kick-started his career with a goal contribution in the Community Shield final. Liverpool, who had reached the Champions League final and finished just a point behind title winners Manchester City the season prior, would go on to have a trophyless campaign, with that same forward's attacking output being questioned for the majority of it. Liverpool, in all of their woes, will likely suffer the same fate as their 2000 20 to 23rd side. And if Florian Wirtz doesn't find the means to recover what once made him one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, the possibility looms that the Reds' latest record-breaking signing may face the same fate as Darwin Núñez, who the club shipped to Saudi in the summer just gone. Julian Nagelsmann doesn't seem to think so, telling reporters on Monday that Liverpool could help Wirtz out by scoring some of the chances he creates. This exact sentiment also prevails within the Liverpool fanbase, as other players are tied to the whipping post for the team's poor form before the German midfielder himself. A brief look at Florian Wirtz's domestic statistics tells a vastly different story. The German has registered just one big chance created in 11 Premier League games this season for the Reds, data via Opta, and watching Wirtz play paints the same picture. It has become far too common to see the German being bounced off the ball with ease, losing steam after a successful duel and fluffing the through ball to his runners. The issue that Wirtz is facing is a tale as old as time. It's his lack of an imposing physicality that has made the German start to life at Liverpool so difficult. Wirtz is not afforded the same luxuries as he once was at Bayer Leverkusen, with his new league being far more physically demanding and sapping the energy he's used to keeping in reserve to function as one of Europe's most prolific attackers. In the 2024-25 Bundesliga season, Wirtz won 45% of his total duels, a figure that has dropped to just 35% so far for the Reds. That statistic is made worse by Wirtz averaging 5.2 duels won per game in 2024-25, compared to just 2.5 in the Premier League this season. Finally, it's completed by the German being dribbled past per game more than twice as frequently as he was for Leverkusen the season prior, data via Opta. Not only is Wirtz winning physical battles less often for Liverpool, he's also fighting for less duels and being bypassed more frequently. A closer look at Wirtz's output in 2024-25 also tells us that perhaps Liverpool should have seen this coming. Of the 8 Champions League matches the midfielder played in last season, he registered goal contributions in 4, against Feyenoord, Brest, Red Bull Salzburg and Sparta Praha. The 4 he blanked in, Liverpool, Milan, Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. If Wirtz is to improve, which he must, the key lies in developing a better physicality and increasing his energy supply. In a team renowned for its workhorse midfield, the German will see a marked increase in his attacking output only when he develops a taste for the speed, intensity and physicality that Premier League sides and European elite are known for. Then, when the time comes to take a pop or deliver a peach for his runners, Wirtz will be far more likely to have the physical and mental clarity to execute it effectively. Yes, Liverpool are suffering, but there is a considerable push from within the fanbase to scapegoat everyone except Wirtz for the team's poor form this season, which couldn't be further from the truth. Florian Wirtz is the key to unlocking to many players in the Reds' frontline for his personal development to be anything less than absolutely crucial for Arne Slot to focus on, and ignoring the problem will only stop that from happening. Julian Nagelsmann is right. Perhaps Mohamed Salah could have converted that singular big chance created from the German against Chelsea last month. Maybe it would have been the confidence booster that the Reds fan base believes it will be when that first domestic goal contribution comes. Or maybe it would have just been paper over the cracks.
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.